Hello chess friends and welcome to Jozarov chess channel and welcome to the last day of the Superbet Romania Chess Classic in 2024. The last day was very epic with many ups and downs. Before the last round of this event, before the round 9, Fabiano Caruana was in the lead, had half of the point more than Alireza Firouzja, Praggnanandhaa and Gukesh. And what really was crazy, Fabi lost his last game with the black pieces against Giri, which gave of course this other three players a huge opportunity with the win to be the winner of this amazing chess event. But again, crazier thing happened. Gukesh only played a draw in his game, and Praggnanandhaa and Alireza Firouzja played against each other. And actually, Alireza Firouzja had, I think, a completely winning endgame where he was up the exchange, but only played a draw. He messed up his endgame. Prag managed to squeeze a draw out of this position, and then we had a crazy situation where four players reached a tiebreak. So all of these four players that I mentioned had 5 points out of the 9 rounds, and they had to play an additional tiebreak tournament where they play against each other. And in these games, they had a tempo of 10 minutes on the clock plus 5 seconds increment per move. The most important, and I think also the most spectacular game, is the game that I want to show you now. It's a game played by Fabi against Alireza, in which really crazy things happen. In my opinion, this was the decisive game of the Superbet Romania Chess Classic in 2024. Let's see now what happened, and of course at the end of the video I'm going to reveal you the winner of this amazing and spectacular chess tournament that we have followed now in the last week. So with the white pieces, Fabi opened with the move c4. Alireza's response was e5. So far we have now the English opening, the king's English variation. Bishop to b4, hitting the king. Fabi covers, and now Alireza builds a solid pawn structure, tries of course to keep his protection on dark squares. And the good part is of course that the dark square bishop is outside of the potential pawn chain and has still a great activity. We have now normal development also by Alireza, and now Fabi goes of course into this fianchetto stuff. Wants of course get use of this diagonal for the light square bishop. D6 by Alireza, normal development again by Fabi, also normal development. And in some lines, black is of course preparing the break and enter with the move d5, calcing, bishop to a5, now b3, trying of course to develop also this bishop on b2, calcing, normal development again, and now h6. Now we have e3, and now the game is spicing up a little bit. Of course, with the move e3, Fabi is preparing to break and enter with the move d4, and here Alireza continues also with normal development, and I would say here a pretty equal position. The good part, I think, for both sides is that all of these pieces of white and also of blacks having good activity. So it's not like one of those bishops is blocked out. This bishop is very dangerous. This bishop is also good. Fabi's bishop, of course, fianchetto stuff all over the board. So in my opinion, so far, very potentially dynamic game now for both sides. And that's exactly what happened. Fabi immediately spices up the game with the move d4. Alireza takes, again Fabi takes, again Alireza takes, and now after a couple of trades of pieces around the square d4, notice now in this sequence, Alireza is left now with an isolated d-pawn, with the structural weakness now through the whole game. So that's why this move again by Alireza makes sense. d5, the d5 is well protected. So now here Alireza is trying to really cement the position in center, tries of course to trade off more pieces and go into an equal middle game. So after c takes d, bishop to e5, and now knight to e4. Now we have already the critical moment, I would say, of the game. Here Alireza played a bad move, knight to c6, and in the beginning it's really unclear why this move is so bad, but Fabi found here, I think, a really amazing and stunning tactic. Maybe just for fun, if you like, if you haven't maybe watched the game, pause the video and try to see now the best continuation here for white. I would almost dare to say that white moves and wins the game. This tactic that Fabi found now, I think, messes up now the whole structure in black's position. Really crazy how Fabi sensed this move and calculated this move in this fast time form. A really epic tactic now in this position. So what would you do now? Okay, here Fabi found the amazing bishop to f6. Really wild stuff. What should you do? Let's see, you ignore this move. You play something like queen to c7. The issue is now you're getting destroyed with this I think really sort of beginner's tactic. I was familiar with this tactic when I started to play chess. This bishop you cannot take, you're delivering checkmate. Black is forced to play now the move g6, but now you simply continue the pressure. If you play king to h7 and bishop to g5 is the follow-up with knight to f6. So again, messy stuff again to handle here for black. King to h7, knight to g5 or bishop to g5 immediately wins the game. So the game is over here for black. So that's why you have to play something like h5, but now the queen is sneaking in here on dark squares, and you're getting destroyed by the bishops and queen's activity. So that's why after bishop to f6, you have to basically accept the challenge, and now Fabi finds a beautiful follow-up with queen to d5. Very epic move here by Fabi. What should you do? Actually, for black here, it's the best to trade off the queens, to simply simplify the game, because after knight to f6 that Fabi calculated, we can pick up the queen. And in this scenario, white is up a pawn, white has the healthiest structure, but maybe, I don't know, in this faster time format you can play this game somehow, because these are opposite color bishops. If you manage somehow to trade off the rooks, to trade off the knights, maybe Alireza can struggle somehow to make a draw. But after queen to d5, Alireza played queen to e7, which is not good, because here Fabi had immediately queen to f5. There's simply no good protection anymore. The issue is after something like queen to e6 will simply take, even if you try queen to e5. Again, knight to f6 is working, so messy position again here for black. But instead of this move queen to f5, Fabi played now the move rook to c1, which also makes, I think, sense, because after rook to c1 we're threatening rook takes c6 followed with queen takes a5. The knight is a little bit overloaded to the defense of the bishop. But now Alireza makes again a new blunder. He plays rook to d8. This is not good. Probably again, as I said, trade off everything. You're up, down a pawn. Maybe try to go into this opposite color bishops endgame, where you could maybe manage to get the draw. But after rook from a to d8, now Fabi of course plays queen to f5, and this is really, I would even dare to say, game over here. Rook takes c6, b takes c6, and now queen to a5. Great tactics here by Fabi. He gained now 2 minor pieces for the rook, has also an extra pawn, has gained, I think, here great activities. The king is endangered, has of course this attacking chances on light score. So from this point on, the game is really a one-way ticket in white's favor. So after rook to d5, Alireza is battling queen to c3 by Fabi, targeting the weak f6 square. We have rook from f to d8, and now g4. Good move, I would say, also by Fabi, which allows him to keep this knight very active on e4 with a potential f5 move, of course. That could happen in the later stage of the game. The knight could be kicked away. So far, great play by Fabi, and he says now, as I said, completely winning position. Queen to e5, queen takes, f takes, bishop to f3. Alireza goes for this pawn, but also Fabi goes for the c6 pawn. Alireza takes, Fabi takes, and of course Alireza is trying to battle somehow. Tries, of course, to get the b pawn and create himself here a passer on the a file. King to g2, we have rook takes b3, knight to g3. Nice maneuver for the knight, where we're targeting the f5 square, and then of course also later the h6 square. But again, Alireza is battling. We have rook to c7, a6, and now comes this idea, knight to f5. Knight is very active, rook is very active on the 7th rank. Really a messed up position here for Alireza. King to f8, rook to a7, going behind the pawn, not allowing, of course, further progress of this passer on the a file. Rook to f6, we have bishop to e4. Fabi keeps everything glued together, everything compact, and now after rook to g6, we have king to f3, getting out of some potential g-file mess. Rook to b6, now Fabi goes with this one, king to e8, and now h5. Rook to d7, rook to a8 check. Again, here Alireza is trying to simplify the game, and now finally after rook takes d8, we have king takes d8. Now again, another brilliant move here by Fabi, the move g5. This is the way to go. Let's see now what happens if you play h takes g5, then h6. You're trying, of course, somehow to clear the 8th rank, because you have to wait here for the pawn. This pawn is pretty close enough to a potential promotion. Now h7, you're trying maybe to deliver check. You're trying, of course, to get the rook here on the 8th rank, but now this one, knight to h6, very messy. And now after something like knight to g8, look at this, the knight is covering this square. h8, it's game over here for black. So that's why for g5 you cannot take the pawn. That's the issue. That's why king to d7. Bobby grabs another pawn, and he has now the clear passer here on the h file. Really game over here for Alireza. But Alireza is battling. This is not over, I guarantee you. This is really crazy game. After knight to h6, king to e6, bishop to f5, we have knight to g4, rerouting the knight, and of course further support this progress of the h pawn. We have a5, Alireza is pushing, also Fabi is pushing here, and again Alireza is threatening here the promotion on the queen side. h7, rook to b8, the only move, and now Fabi messed it up. Believe me or not, here Fabi messed up the perfect game. He played now a bad knight to f6. And this move is not so powerful because it's actually not helping you out with this knight to g8 move, because here Alireza can play rook to h8. And believe me or not, the engine says here it's equal. White cannot win this game if black now plays this endgame correctly. A better choice instead of knight to f6 is you play knight takes e5, and you see after something like a3 there is of course the fork idea. You can pick up now this one. Even if you promote, then this promotion is going to happen. Game over again here for black. You could maybe try rook to a8 to support your own pawn, but then bishop to b1 controls of course the a2 square. You're trying to push, and now the king is getting closer, trying something like this. But you can even sacrifice the knight, look, and you can also sacrifice the bishop, because in none of these lines black can take the bishop. But also we have now two connected passers on the 7th rank. Again, game over. You have to give up now some material for this one, and again a messy game. So knight to e5, winning idea immediately. Game over here for black. But Fabi messed it up, played now the move knight to f6. He's threatening of course knight to g8, but Alireza sees that, and now Alireza got out of this mess. And if he plays now the game correctly, this should be a draw. Really crazy stuff. Bishop to b1, Fabi has to cover now this one. a3, king to e4, Fabi is getting closer, and of course Alireza is trying to support his rook here. He's trying to get the king on g7, where the king would be actually taking the function of the rook, would not allow this potential promotion on the h file. King takes e5, king to g7, new check, knight to f6. Here Fabi goes for repetition, but now finally with bishop to a2 is targeting also the pawn on f7. Rook to b8, we have f4, and now Alireza makes a huge new blunder. He plays now the move rook to c8, and you see now both players, Alireza and Fabiano Caruana, will make the same mistakes over and over, because they probably just see one line. Here for Alireza, it's most important to stay on this b file and deliver checks all over the board against the rook. For instance, the king is getting here, then you attack the bishop, then you can pick up this one, and actually in this scenario again it would be a draw, because you could maybe try to get rid of this knight, take out the pawn, and maybe go for this pawn. But the most important part is that you can always deliver checks. And actually again the engine even in this line is saying that this should be a draw. But after move f4, here Alireza didn't deliver check immediately, which gives here Fabi a huge opportunity with f5 to make further progress. And after something like rook to a8, now you can play knight to g4. After rook to a5, you go here, and now you can pick up this one, and suddenly it's again completely over. You're trying maybe something like this, then we can play bishop to a2, rook to a5, and again this should be over. If you push the pawn to a2 here in this position, then you have this intermediate attack against the king. You push the pawn on f6, the king has to step back, and now again two connected passers should simply win the game. g7, g8, and game over. Really crazy stuff. So f5 here for Fabi, the best move. But okay, king to d4, again equal position. Again Alireza can battle. He tried now rook to c2. Alireza got challenged this way. Fabi takes, and now a2. Bishop takes a2, rook takes a2, and again it's an equal position. The king is controlling the h8 square, and again this possibility to deliver checks here on the a file. We have king to e4, rook to a4, king to f5. Again a couple of checks by Alireza. He's waiting. Again rook to c6, and now after move f5, now again Alireza doesn't realize that he has to play on this on the c file and stay simply on the 5th rank, or maybe if the king gets on the 4th rank. But he has to compete basically against the king. he has to always follow the king, he has to always deliver checks or maybe attack the pawn. So here he should have simply played rook to c5, where again black is challenging the pawn and white is forced to retreat, and now you deliver check, and now again maybe something like this. But when the king is coming on the fourth rank, and again you deliver checks or you can step back. But the most important part is, as I said, to always have the flexibility to attack the pawn, but also to deliver checks. But what Alireza did, he played now the move rook to a6, and Fabi had now a beautiful, beautiful winning idea. And again, it's so hard to see. It's really a beautiful endgame pattern, maybe just for fun. If you like, pause the video and try to see now the winning idea here for white, because Alireza made that mistake. Fabi again had a completely winning endgame. So what would you do now in this particular position? Okay, the winning idea here is a beautiful g6. Crazy endgame technique. Look at this. You're trying a rook takes f6. You cannot take, of course, with the king because of the promotion. After rook to f6, you go with your king here. And now after something like rook to c6, you have this resource, f6. Now the king has to step back and you promote. So that's why you have to give up maybe here the rook for a pawn, but now you promote. And now after queen takes h8, we have king to f6. This is now completely winning. Black has to step back here to h7. You play king to f7, g8, promotion. So f5, pardon me, here g6 with the move king to g5, attacking the rook is now the crucial idea to win this endgame. But again, Fabi plays king to g4, allows here again Alireza to play on this pattern that we have seen before: rook to a4, rook to a5, attacking the pawn. When the king comes on the fourth rank, you deliver checks. So basically, you're like an elevator following the king here on the fourth or maybe on the fifth rank. But again, Alireza makes the bad move rook to c6, which gives again Fabi the opportunity to play the move g6, the move that we have seen previously is working. But again, Fabi makes a mistake, and again Alireza makes a mistake. So they're both not realizing their chances in this game. Again, here rook to c8, maybe with this idea to stay, as I said, simply active against the king is working. But now Alireza played rook to a6. Fabi goes with king to e5. Again, it's an equal game, it's an equal position, so white cannot win this game if black plays another game correctly. Again, Alireza plays now this checks, and Fabi realizes, okay, I cannot win the game like this. I have to find a different pattern. So after rook to a6, king to g4, a rook to c6. Now again, Alireza messed it up because he should have simply, again, as we said, delivered checks, staying on the fifth rank. After rook to c6, again Fabi plays king to h5, again g6, again g6. So many times Alireza messed it up, and Fabi had the great chance to play after rook to f6 this pattern, king to g5. But again, king to h5. Again, Alireza makes the same blunder, and now after knight to d7, here Fabi found a beautiful idea how to also squeeze a win out of this because after king to h7, f6, you don't have access to the squares, and it's game over. Rook to a5 now. This pawn is marching. Rook to f5. We have f8, the promotion here. Alireza tried to get a draw because after king to g5, it's of course a stalemate. But of course, Fabi is not falling for this place now. King to h4. Alireza is battling, and now after king to g4 in this particular position, Alireza Firouzja resigned, and Fabiano Caruana won the game. So with this win, I think it was clear that Fabi is going to win this tournament, because Fabi, believe me or not, in this tie breaks where he played against Gukesh, Praggnanandhaa, and Alireza, won all of the 3 games that he played. Alireza Firouzja won 2 of them and finished on the second place. I think this is a little bit fair because Fabi was the leader through the whole tournament. He played, I think, the most solid chess. Messed it up in the last round, but it's a tournament where basically everyone can beat everyone, and but still I think a deserved win by Fabi, and in this tie breaks he was unbeatable. He destroyed Alireza in the early stage of the game, but messed up really this endgame pattern. But also cool game here by these two top grandmasters. So okay, congratulations for Fabi for winning such a prestigious tournament. Really great players we have seen in this event. We'll see now, maybe Fabi can be stronger and stronger. He's now the second best player in the world for sure. Magnus Carlsen didn't play in this tournament. But if Fabi continues to play like this, especially in classic time format chess, he can maybe also get some rating points. We'll see. Can he challenge maybe Magnus in the world ranking list in this beautiful chess world that we follow? Okay, if you want to see some other games that we have analyzed here on my YouTube chess channel, check out our commented chess games, but also our commented chess games played by computers, where we analyze some beautiful AI games. And if you like this content, hit the subscribe button. See you soon with some more videos, and what do we say in the end? Chess is the best, of course.